The only real God is the one that you believe in. Start looking for the God in others. And if you find you're tuning into a wave, well then I don't know much about the insane.
Hello, friends.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome into another episode of Spiritual Philosophy Chatter with the Joneses, and I'm Danny Jones.
And I am Samantha Jones.
And here we are to chat.
Here we are.
Cool. Episode 49.
49. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is the topic?
This is coronavirus, panic or pandemic.
Yeah, good one. It's
Yeah.
appropriate time.
Honestly, I don't think we could really talk about anything else right
Yeah.
now.
we probably should just talk about it.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. But before we do that, anything from last week?
I do have one quick thing I wanted to talk about.
All right.
I decided a little while back that I wanted to start a Facebook group for our listeners. And the reason that I wanted to do this is because, like, right now we do all of our discussions on a Facebook page, and a Facebook page is public. So I actually had an instance a couple of months ago with one of the listeners' family members that came on and called me a few choice words because I say that I can speak to spirits. I can handle it.
Right.
It didn't really affect me. It doesn't at this point.
Yeah.
But the listener was so upset.
Yes.
And she hasn't commented on anything since. So these are the reasons why I wanted to start a Facebook group, so that our listeners could have a place that they could safely talk about topics without outsiders seeing. So,
Yeah.
And it's going really well so far. I started it on Monday.
Yep.
So it's going really, really well. So this is called Spiritual Philosophy Chatter with the Joneses Discussion Group.
Cool.
You can find the link on our regular Facebook page, or just search for that on Facebook. And yeah, it's really going well. And Facebook is not allowing on the pages to do polls anymore, but in the groups you can.
Yeah. I don't understand that.
I know, I don't either.
I mean, I know they want to kind of, upgrade, and they're testing things to see what's
Right.
popular, but that's a pretty convenient little tool to have there. But,
It worked really well for
Yeah.
us because it was one of the ways that our listeners could keep their opinions private.
yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
It didn't show who voted what, except to us. And so it worked, but yeah, they had to take it off.
Well, now that you think about it, it kind of is better this way in a
Oh, yeah.
strange way, because now, besides just a poll, people can actually give an opinion. Which is
Yes.
kind of neat. I mean, I know it's harder for you when you're just trying to look at an average
Right.
census, but-
Right. No, I like this.
Yeah.
There's people that are commenting that have never commented before, people that I didn't even know that listen to the show that are, now interacting. This is a great topic, I think, to start that discussion group often, because they really have been able, our different listeners, to show from all over the country, all over the world, what's happening. And so I think this will be good. So if you want to join that group,
Go for it.
Please do. Please join
Yeah,
us.
thanks for doing it. It was good.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the responses. It's great.
Yeah, it's been great so far.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's all I have. I wanted to get into the topic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Well, let's do it. Episode 49.
49.
COVID-19, pandemic or panic?
Yes. So it does seem like it's been a lot of panic here lately.
Mm-hmm.
It's been surreal,
Yeah.
to say the least.
It's like a movie.
It is. Last night we were sitting on the couch and I started thinking about how it doesn't, like, yesterday doesn't feel real. The day before doesn't feel real. Like, I feel like I'm just going along with whatever I need to go along, and I'm not absorbing anything. I'm kind of like a robot right now, I think.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain.
I understand. I kind of feel it's like some level of survival mode. Maybe you're just doing simply what's in front of you in the minute. I mean, I try to stay in the moment as much as I can, but
Right.
literally, like, because you have to keep yourself occupied, and
You really do.
you
Yeah.
don't realize how occupied you get with just doing your day to day, going here and there, and
Yeah.
so it's tough, especially with kids.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get into all of it in this episode because in the discussion group, we did talk about different ways to, handle your kids, different things to do to keep yourself busy. So we're going to get into all of that.
Right. Cool.
First, I wanted to talk a little bit about what this is, what COVID-19 is.
All right.
So COVID-19 is the disease caused by a new coronavirus that emerged in China in December 2019. COVID-19 symptoms include cough, fever, and shortness of breath. It can be severe in some cases and in others not so severe, and in some cause death.
Right.
The new coronavirus can be spread from person to person. It is diagnosed with a laboratory test. There is no vaccine yet available. Prevention involves frequent hand washing, coughing into the bend of your elbow, and staying home when you are sick.
Please.
Yes. We live in California, in Southern California. Mm-hmm. So right now we are, I believe, one of 3 states on pretty much complete lockdown. Or 4, maybe. New York, Washington, and Hawaii, I think. I can't guarantee that, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on.
I think they just kind of picked more metropolitan areas in particular that
well, these are the
more
hardest.
Congested.
Right. These are the hardest hit so far. Well, the 3 hardest are California, New York, and Washington.
Wow.
And then Hawaii, because they're an island and they're so particular as it is, like with their quarantine, that I don't think they're letting anybody in.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I read. But, some of this stuff you're not too sure about. We are recording this on Friday, March 19th. So these statistics are from this morning. Mm-hmm. We wanted to kind of wait until the last minute. We always release on Friday for the most part. We wanted to give you as accurate information as we could.
Right.
So this is, let's see, there are 255,904 confirmed cases worldwide. There have been 10,495 deaths. And so far, 89,918 people have completely recovered. There are still 155,491 active cases. When you look at the statistics of the age groups, how this is working with the age groups, it is, okay, so the way they break this down isn't, I'm going to give you statistics for over 80. This isn't that statistic as far as how many 80-year-olds are dying compared to others. This is within their own age range. So 21.9% of the cases over 80 are resulting in death.
21%.
21%.
Over
now,
80.
Over 80. In our age range, it is 0.4%.
Yeah, so
it's really, at this point, for the younger generations, and I want to say under 70, this is more about containment. Yeah. It's not so much about the not getting sick aspect as it is helping everybody else, the immunocompromised, the elderly, to not get sick from this and pass. That's a high statistic. Let's see. What else can I tell you? The incubation period, so is 2 to 14 days. What makes coronaviruses interesting is that they're zoonotic, and zoonotic means that they are passed from animal to human, from one way or the other, from human to animal, animal to human.
Right.
So these different coronaviruses that happen a lot of times come from different animals. Right. Right now, they think this one was caused by a bat. But that's right, and there's no evidence to support that our dogs can get this strain or anything like that.
Right.
I used to have ferrets, and ferrets do catch the flu, any strain of it. That was one of the worst flus I've ever had, was when I caught from a ferret.
Yeah, it's
kind of crazy.
You were telling me that was pretty brutal.
So it was. So that is definitely an animal to be careful with if you have ferrets.
And they vaccinate our animals for coronavirus.
Yes, but it is a different strain. It's a dog version, and that is not zoonotic to people. So if the dog version, we would not catch that. It's weird how it works within these different viruses of who can catch what. Most of the time, there's not much that we can catch from animals. It's like rabies, ringworm. There's really not that many that are like really easily transferable.
Right.
So here you have one that, came from some form of animal.
Yeah.
So let's see. We talked about symptoms. So people in the high risk area are people with pre-existing conditions. And here's the statistic that I found quite alarming, is that in addition to the elderly, the people that are dying outside of that age group, 99% of them have an pre-existing condition, a high-risk pre-existing condition. Right. And those include cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory issues, hypertension, and cancer. There was a young man, I think he was like 32, that died in Arizona yesterday. Yeah. But he had pre-existing conditions. He not only had asthma, but he had testicular cancer like a couple of years back. So his immune system was already kind of compromised. Yeah. So I know people see that and they start to panic.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's understandable. Even for your loved ones. I have a mother that's been fighting lung cancer for a while, a couple of years, and she's been in remission for a little while, which is great. However, she still has some respiratory issues and she has to go take, tests to keep up on it and watch it. And that's terrifying for her and for all, my sister and us as well. And because, you know that there's a risk there going. Yes. And I told her, don't be embarrassed to wear a mask and just please don't touch anything, on your face or anything until you've gotten home and, washed real good, but just do what they're saying to do. And that's all you can do is just hope that, Yeah.
For your mom, thankfully, she's kind of an introvert and stays home anyways. So that part of it for her won't be as big of a deal as, maybe for some others. But going to the doctors, you have to be concerned with that. But from what I've heard, they're taking such amazing precautions to make sure that it doesn't spread that, I'm sure that they're doing that for her as well.
Yeah. I mean, look at, if anything comes out of this, all these establishments that have to shut down, during this are going to get a severe cleaning.
Yes.
From head to toe, which is nice,
It's funny that you say that because when we found out that we were going to start being put under restriction, one of the very first things that I said was, I'm going to clean. Yeah. And it's not because of the virus at all, because it's not in the house. No. But I just felt this need to clean. I'm taking each room, one room at a time, and deep cleaning it. Yeah. And I have talked to so many other people that are doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And it really isn't about the germs. It's just about now we're purging. We have this natural instinct to want to clean our nest.
Well, and that's when you look at it, it's exactly true. It's your home.
Yeah.
And if you take everything away, your job, your whatever, social life, anything besides your family and your home, that's what's left, and that's what's really important.
Yes.
So it's this natural instinct to, might as well tidy up and take care of, since most of our 3/4 of our life spent at work.
Right.
And with our work families, there's little time to tend.
Yes.
Often for a lot of people to do those things. And so it's nice to have this time to spend with your family and do those things.
Yes.
Regardless if the virus is in your house or not, it's just good to do. I think it's maybe the earth saying it's time to clean, people.
Yes. And I was going to get into that towards the end of the episode, but maybe it's good to get into it now of what you and I are feeling and what we believe in, what we're seeing from other people that are spiritual as well. Mm-hmm. There's a reason this is happening.
Oh, yes. It's on more than one level.
A lot of levels.
Yeah.
Okay. We can talk about the virus and why it's killing people, but I don't think we need to do that. Okay, that's just a part of kind of Mother Nature and what happens, okay?
Yeah.
But let's look at the other things that it's doing for us, because a lot of us we have to stay home. We're going to be home. We don't know how long it's going to be. We know that Marina is out of school until at least May 4th. Mm-hmm. They may not go back to school.
May not, yeah.
So we're forced to, as a family, be together now pretty much 24 hours a day for however long this goes on.
Yep.
And in some cases, that may not be good for people. But I think in a lot of cases, if you make the best of it and you try and find things that you can do together, it's only going to make your family stronger.
Oh, yeah.
We're different because we do a lot of work from home. So it's hard for us, to look at, it's harder for me because I've never really had that 9 to 5 job or that, steady type thing because I've always done pet sitting. But for people that go to work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday that only really get the weekends to spend with their families and to do the things they need to do, this has to be like freeing and amazing on one point and scary on the other.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Bills, as a lot of people are probably thinking, you know, and that's scary.
Yeah.
But if that's all that's important, I think you might be missing the message here.
Right.
And at least what we're sharing and what we're feeling is that is a time for us to look at what's really important.
Right.
I'm not saying bills aren't important and having a roof, but it's the amount of time and all that we're putting into all that.
Right.
When maybe we should work on the balance.
That's exactly right. Exactly. So this time that we have now, however long it is, we need to use it to our advantage with our families and with catching up on things that, you know, we haven't done in a while, which is why I feel like I went straight to the cleaning, you know, and also like we've told our listeners we don't watch a lot of TV, and I'm really like not good at sitting still. I like to stay busy. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's going to be a struggle to be stuck at home all the time.
Yeah.
But I have to learn to relax.
Yeah.
And that is a part of this for me, is that I do need to learn that. I need to be able to relax. And so we all in this, what's going on right now, we're going to have our own lessons as well. But it can be very, very good for us. Very good.
Yeah.
On a completely different level is we are cleaning up our planet.
Yeah.
It's amazing what's actually happening. In places like Italy, in the canals, the water's now clear. Mm-hmm. And the animals are coming back, the fish, the dolphins, the swans, everything, they're coming back. You can see, like, there was a chart this morning that came out about our freeways.
Right.
And they're always like red in the morning,
mm-hmm.
and it was completely green. Every freeway in Southern California was completely open.
Right.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, when you showed that to me this morning and I saw it, I was like, what?
I know.
That's what I was feeling like. It's like I said to you, and I've said it a couple times, it feels like a movie a little bit. And I find it very strange how either art's imitating life and life's imitating art, and that's not a mistake. That we see these things in entertainment, and maybe they're kind of there for a reason.
Right.
To sort of drop little hints to us about, you know, things in life that may or may not happen. You did mention earlier, you know, obviously natural selection and things like this that come over our planet or different regions and affect whether it's elderly or young or people in general. And it takes people. That's hard.
Yes.
That sucks, okay? But that is how this world works, that people are going to come and go. And it's sad that these types of things happen to us, but it's almost somewhat necessary.
Right.
The earth does these things, and these things exist for a reason.
Right.
But it's still, nonetheless, it's hard. It's a loved one.
Yes.
It's somebody's father, you know, mother, brother, sister, whatever. And so it's hard, but that is how it goes.
Yeah. If you look at like how things have been going with our planet and how the generations are pretty much arguing about global warming, I feel like this was the universe's, God's, whatever you want to call it, way of saying, you guys aren't going to fix this.
Right.
I'm going to fix it for you.
Right.
And God stepped in, and here we are. And yeah, it sucks that it has to be a pandemic to do this. Yeah. But there's lessons here to be learned.
Yes.
And those people that lose their lives from this, the second they lose their life and they're at the other side, they'll understand why.
Yeah.
This is important.
It's very important, you know, and Jennifer Hemphill said it on one of her posts about this is a test.
Yep.
It's a test about your integrity. It's amazing the way that humanity will come together in the face of something like this or catastrophe or something really bad.
Yeah.
9/11 or whatever, an earthquake, you name it. Yep. Now it's a pandemic. It is amazing the amount of love that you can see being poured out. It's also very sad the amount of people that want to stir the pot and freak people out and but that you can't focus on that.
No.
If you stay focused on the positive, that will be your reality.
Yes.
So I find it overwhelmingly beautiful that you see this happening in these times. What I wish is that we didn't have to have that going on in order to treat each other like this.
Exactly.
That is probably, to me, also one of the other big messages that Mother Earth is trying to send us.
Yes.
Is clean your homesteads and your places and keep it clean.
And your planet, yeah.
But take care of each other.
Yes.
Take care of each other.
So important right now. I don't know what it's like all over the world, but I'll tell you that here in California and through a lot of the United States, we have had a toilet paper shortage.
Yeah.
And it's not because there needed to be a toilet paper shortage.
It's a respiratory virus.
It's because somebody went, oh no, there's a pandemic coming and we're going to run out of toilet paper because they're going to shut down the ports and blah, 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 and started this panic and everybody followed. I can't remember what that's called. I heard on the radio the other day about how it's very easy for anything to be taken like that. In any like catastrophe situation, you usually see something like that happening. I remember after 9/11 that there were some things, but one of them was gas. The gas station lines were so long because everybody felt like we were going to get our supply cut off. But there was no evidence of that. It was just somebody that
that's
started.
Happened before in the future, past, excuse me.
Yeah.
So
it's just those types of things that start rumors, and then we have all these problems. You go to the grocery store. I've been to the store twice this week to try and get things. Our daughter's vegetarian, and so it's hard sometimes to find protein sources.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm having a horrible time finding protein sources because everything is sold out. Not because it needs to be, but because people are buying more than what they need of something and not leaving enough for those of us that need it too.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have to schedule particular hours for the elderly to shop, which is wonderful that they're doing that.
Yeah.
But is that still a guarantee that there's the product on the shelf?
No, not at all.
So it's still helping, but it's not really solving their situation 100%. So, I mean, I like to see that. However, I wish if people would cut back on the panic, there's going to be something for everybody.
Absolutely.
We have to share.
Instead of taking, try giving instead. You know, I don't understand this take. It's all about me. It's like, why? You know, I went to the store on Monday, I believe, and they had 3 cartons, half cartons of eggs. For 6 eggs, it was like $5, but it was the only eggs that they had. Right. And I was like, okay, well, I need to get these. Yeah. There were 3 of them. I took 1. One of my Facebook friends commented, you should have taken all 3.
Yeah.
Why?
No, that's what I mean.
Selfish.
That's the.
I don't need 3.
There's a point here.
Right.
And the other one was the guy that bought all the hand sanding and was trying to up the price on where was he selling it? eBay? I
think it was eBay or Amazon or something.
I mean, they shut him down, which I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of within the message of that post we referred to about the integrity. Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about here.
Exactly.
Come on, you're going to take advantage of people? Like, you know what? And so that guy got shut down. He's stuck with all that.
He is. I don't know what it's like around the world, but I can tell you here that you cannot return any of your coronavirus impulse panic buys. You can't.
So that guy's stuck with it.
He's stuck with it.
See the lesson he got? He screwed himself.
You're going to have to give it away now. Just because of panic like that. Mm-hmm. Like I said, on Monday I went to Vons, but I also went to Target because I had to go to 3 different stores just to get us stuff to get through a couple of days. Okay. Target, I got there when they opened. They had toilet paper, paper towels, and hand sanitizer at the front door. You were allowed to take 1 of each. That's it. I didn't need paper towels because we just got them. We got them right before this started.
Right.
So I just took 1 thing of toilet paper and 1 hand sanitizer, and we don't need more than that. We haven't even opened that pack of TP yet.
Right.
Why would I need more than that?
Yeah. Don't.
No. So, anyways, we were going off on a tangent, but these are the reasons why we're saying that this is happening for a reason. So you got to look at the big picture here.
Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of people that are afraid of the virus itself and getting sick from it and dying from it. Honestly, I feel like at this point, that's the least of our problems. It really is.
Right.
I asked our listeners what they felt. What's their biggest concern? And the most votes, over 50%, got losing someone close to them, like an elderly family member or somebody immunocompromised, was 50%. And then the next was the world economy. And then the third was, okay, I want to read this comment. Because I have a client that works as a nurse. I can't remember what hospital.
What was the question? What are people's biggest worries
Their
about
biggest
this?
concern,
Okay.
yeah. So, where was I going with this? Okay, so then the third one was for themselves, for the virus, that they would get sick themselves.
Right.
So I looked at some of these comments. I wanted to read this one to you. This is from one of my pet sitting clients. She is a nurse at a hospital, like I said. She said, not being able to protect my staff or care for my patients efficiently due to shortages of PPE supplies and equipment is my biggest concern. Having to choose who may live or die because we are overrun with sick patients requiring life support.
Yikes.
People don't think about this. This is going on. I know people that have gone to urgent care with the sniffles to get the coronavirus test.
No.
What you're doing when you're going to urgent care or the ER, whatever it is, when you don't have severe symptoms of something, if you
Right.
just have the sniffles, you have a cold, is you're taking that bed from somebody that may really need it.
Right.
You're also exposing other people to whatever virus it is that you have. And that's not fair because those other people are there because they're sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you might have 6 Costco packs of toilet paper stacked up in your garage, and there's some little kid and his family that have none.
Right.
It's the same idea.
It is.
So when you panic, you're creating more of an issue around the issue.
Exactly. It's just, if you're sick, please don't leave the house either. Like,
Right.
unless you really, really, really need to go to the doctor, urgent care, don't. Because, I mean, come on, you guys. Like, how many times have you been sick? You're going to know if you have something different than what you normally have.
Right.
You know, if you have a little sniffles and a headache or whatever, that's not coronavirus. Please don't go out.
Right.
Several of these people that commented on losing someone close to them, elderly wise or immunocompromised, we have friends that have children that are immunocompromised, and this is a huge concern for them. We have a friend that her and her husband had a baby. I think he's a little over a year old, and his organs, right? He was born with the organs on the outside of the body and
Right.
heart issues and all these kinds of problems. So she can't leave the house. She's staying home with the baby. She can't leave. They can't go anywhere. Right. And only the husband comes and goes and, sanitizes and everything.
Yeah.
And that's the type of precautions that, those families have to take.
That's
and we
tough for
need,
them.
yes, but we need to help them. We need to take those precautions for them. That's why you stay home when you're sick, because if this friend of ours, if he's out at the grocery store and you're sitting there hacking up a lung next to him, but it's not coronavirus, he still has the potential to get whatever it is you have and pass it on to his kid.
Sure.
Doesn't matter what virus it is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, this should be protocol for any flu season, that
Yes.
Not saying shut down the country and all this stuff, but stay home.
Yes.
Employers, when flu season is, start coughing up some sick pay so people don't got to worry about, having to struggle to go to work and then potentially infect their coworkers, and then that spreads to their families, all because bills.
Right.
Well, these employers could make it a little easier, especially around that time.
Yes.
For people, for the spread of any flu.
Right.
To be to a minimal.
Well, and a couple of reasons why they they are doing this quarantine stay at home thing is because it does have that incubation period. Mm-hmm. So really they want to see what's going to happen. If it has like an average of 2 to 14 day incubation period, I think they believe that it'll peak at like 9 days. So we go 2 weeks through this and we see how many new cases there are. And then this will tell us if the quarantine is working. However, not everybody is abiding by it. Yeah. So it doesn't work if not everybody's doing it.
Yeah, I guess there's parties going on in Florida.
There's parties going on everywhere. It makes me so sad.
I don't know why I heard the Florida thing, but
because I heard something. Oh, I was listening to Mark Zuckerberg was interviewing. Oh gosh, I can't remember what his name is, but he's like in charge of this, the head infectious disease specialist. I was listening to them talk about it, and one of the questions was about Florida. Is Florida susceptible to this because it's so hot and moist there, right? And like things like this, like wet and dry. And he's like, yeah, it doesn't matter where you are. It may not be as prevalent in a warmer place, but it's not always warm there. So these are the kinds of rumors that get started, and people in Florida go, oh, we don't have to listen to this.
Right.
Yeah.
Wrong.
I asked our listeners if they're currently quarantined to any level, and over half said no, but that they're taking extra precautions. And then the other half basically said no, but they're not, and they're still going on about their normal life. Sorry, that was the second most, which I found a little bit shocking that people are still going on with their normal life.
Right.
This also, I did start doing this on Tuesday, I believe our poll started, so I'm sure a little bit has changed at that point.
Well, I like to hear that people are going on with their normal life, like that aspect, and that group doesn't sound necessarily panicked or paranoid or worried, but as long as they're being conscious,
right,
and aware of the threat, and washing and doing what they're asking, I think we're all going to have to go back out at some point.
Yes,
but
I still have to go out at least once a day. Yeah. So it's not like we're all quarantined in this bubble.
No,
but it's better to have like one person that goes out.
Yeah.
And we'll go, like we went for a hike the other day because we're not coming in contact with anybody. We're in our little bubble car, and we're not coming in contact with people. And so those are the types of things you can do too, and that helps you get out of the house. So
we saw people out there.
Yeah, but we didn't come in contact.
We weren't close to them.
We weren't within 6 feet of anybody, which is what they're telling us. I have a friend actually that I started in junior high with, and she lives in Italy. And Italy is the epicenter right now to everything.
Yeah.
So I have kind of followed her story a little bit over the last, I don't know how long it's been, month since it's been going on there. And it's been really interesting. And if you follow this, I think it will help you to understand why the United States is taking the steps that we are here and maybe other places are, because we're trying to learn from Italy. Mm-hmm. And in Italy, one of the things that happened is they didn't take this seriously, and people kept going out and they kept doing their stuff. Well, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, she posted like their military trucks going down the street. Mm-hmm. And it was talking in Italian, so I don't know what they're talking about, but it was basically stay in your home. Mm-hmm. There's a virus. You can't leave. They have to carry papers if they need to leave their area.
Right.
Their restrictions are so tight over there that's kind of what we're trying to prevent here. But if we don't listen, then it just continues to escalate and escalate. Right. And she said that it may even get worse, the quarantine. I'm like, how is that possible? At this point, all they're allowed to do is go out to the doctor or the grocery store, which is pretty much at this point what we're allowed to do.
Well, we can go out.
Yeah.
They said.
Yeah, they can't. That's right. They can't even leave their yard.
Right.
They can't. Yeah. I hope it doesn't get to that.
I sure hope not.
Whew, that's tough.
Because I got to get out and walk.
Well, yeah. My body already hurts from not doing my normal walks, because this has really affected me a lot as far as with my job, because normally I do like 6 walks every day in the middle of the day. And now I'm down to 1 or 2. I have one 7 days a week and the other one is 2 days. That's it. That's all the exercise I'm getting, unless I take Sabbath.
Yeah.
Or we just walk together.
Yeah.
And I can feel it. My body hurts. And then I catch myself eating quarantine snacks more than I should. these are things that we have to not do to ourselves during this. It's hard because it's really easy to be like, okay, well, I'm just going to spend the next 2 weeks on the couch with the bag of chips and watch Curb Your Enthusiasm from episode 1 on.
Right.
We got to have like balance.
Yeah.
There has to be balance of what we do. One of the other questions that I asked our listeners is, what are you telling your kids? Because a part of the problem is that kids are getting their information from other kids.
Yeah.
Who they say they're getting from parents. Like, for example, Marina texted me the other night and she said school starts on, what'd she say, May 1st. And I was like, who told you this? And she said her friend's mother, who's a teacher. I was like, okay. Well, I looked it up. No, it's May 4th. Okay,
right.
but I understand where she was going with that, but it's not the correct information. So that's a simple, example to show you that these things do get misconstrued.
Yeah.
Our kids really have no clue what's going on.
No.
They rely on us for guidance and to teach them and to give them the correct information.
This is new for me. I've never lived through this.
Yeah.
So, when and this is what you're saying is very important. Communicating to your kids in any kind of event or situation, how honest, or I don't want to say honest, but how detailed you want to be with them. That's at your discretion. But the important thing is to let them feel safe and comfortable, but making sure they understand what is necessary.
Yeah.
And with her, it's tough because she's kind of looked at us like, so what is this all about? And we're like, well, we've never been through this. I mean, we've been through flus and other, like the bird flu and
the swine flu
and yada, yada. Yeah. But it wasn't at this level.
No,
really. I mean, it didn't call for quarantine that I remember.
No, nothing like that. We've never been through anything like this.
No. So, and anything before that, and I wasn't around for. I was too young, or I wasn't born yet. So.
Right. We have to be careful what we say to them because, or what we let them hear, because they don't understand a lot of, maybe what we understand, and their heads, they can't process this. So we have to really watch it. And the best thing you can do for your kids is to be calm yourself.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. If you panic, they're going to panic.
Yep.
Everybody panics.
Yep.
And there's no reason to panic. It's not a panic situation.
No.
You have to keep your kids calm. If you need a panic moment, take it, but do it outside.
Yeah.
Do it when your kids are asleep and they can't hear you if you just need to break down and cry.
Right.
I mean, nobody's perfect. This isn't going to be easy.
No. But it's not like bombs dropping from the sky within minutes, So there's things that can be done.
Yes.
Right? But it is important to not panic.
It is. And it's also important when it comes to talking to them about this virus itself that you explain that their age range is not really an issue. Because they don't understand that. I've talked many times about how I grew up as a hypochondriac with a hypochondriac family. Mm-hmm. If this was happening when I was a kid, this would not be good. Anytime before like the age of maybe like 35, if this would have been happening, oh, no, not good. Yeah. Not good at all. I'm so thankful that I don't have that hang up anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to get sick, but I'm not being a freak about it.
Right.
If this was when I was a kid, oh no, there would be no anything, no leaving the house, no, it would have been really bad. So you have to talk to your kids about the virus and be honest, but I'm not saying sugarcoat. Just leave things out maybe that don't need to be said. Know, if you don't need to talk about a death rate, you don't, stay away from the death as much as you can. They're going to hear that it does cause death. Mm-hmm. And so they should be told it's really not a concern. Right. You're not in that age group. You don't have a pre-existing condition. You are a healthy child. You will be fine.
Yeah.
That's so important for them to hear.
I agree.
Yeah. Because they don't know these things unless they're told. I didn't know any of what I was a hypochondriac about as a kid. I just knew that,
Yeah.
They tested me once for anemia. And as soon as the doctor said he wanted to test me for something, even though I had no idea what it was, I lost my mind thinking that I was going to die. And,
Yeah.
You got to talk about it. You know, and we don't know a lot of times that our kids are even like inside feeling that those maybe like scared feelings about the virus and what it might do to them.
Right.
They may not want to talk about it
just
to
a
us.
simple, and I do it almost every day, you know, with Marina, like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Yeah.
Not just like physically, but are you okay?
Right.
You know, if you need to talk.
Because a lot of
I'm
times
here.
they won't come to you.
No.
Yeah. You have to go to them.
Yeah. But if they see you just kind of going, hey, it's all right, you know, you want to talk, and then they're more apt to just calm and,
yeah,
you know, maybe ask you questions, and you can just reassure them through your answers.
Well, and they have a whole different level, this generation, of anything that we ever had as kids, because they have the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much misinformation on the internet.
Yeah.
And these kids go online and they're like, I'm going to Google coronavirus. And yeah.
Don't.
No. But they're kids and they don't know any better. So that's why we have to give them the facts.
Yeah.
We can't be the extra paranoid ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The next question I asked our listeners is, what are you doing to stay busy? Because this is something that I think we can all learn from each other on. You know, like I said, my pull has been to clean. And I've done a lot of organizing. And then I'm like, okay, well, what do I do when that's done? But I also don't want to do that all day long. Right. And I need to spend time with my family. This is a time to bring us together. So we were kind of thinking about, you know, what are the different things that we can do? Some ideas that our listeners gave, things that we were talking about as well, is like baking or cooking, learning to cook. Like there's so many things online that celebrities are doing. They're doing concerts. They're doing,
cool.
Yeah. I'm sure they're doing like cooking stuff too, probably, you know, like who knows, Rachel Ray, maybe she'll do something like that. Right. Because we all are in this together.
Yeah.
So you go online and, you know, find a recipe and get your groceries delivered and cook it together.
There you go.
If you can get your groceries.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Gardening. That's something, if it would stop raining here, that I had thought about. I'd really like to maybe do is some gardening.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we've had rain this is another thing that's made this difficult.
It's staying in a lot.
Yeah. It's rained every day for the last week and a half, except for like one. You can play games, you know, board games, make up your own games. Of course, you can binge watch things on TV. But you can also, like, for example, one of the things that I thought about with Marina, because Marina's on the dance team, and one of the things that they lost is their dance recital type thing, their showcase. It's one of the things that is now on the list of things that have been canceled.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was going to tell her is, why don't you like choreograph a dance? I used to be a dancer, but I still, you know, will dance with her. Teach it to me, and then we can like do a video for your friends or whatever, you know, those types of things. Entertain other people too.
Yeah.
You know,
she got me in on the TikTok the other night.
Yeah.
We were making TikTok.
She got us both in on that. That was, if you see us on TikTok, I don't understand. That, you know, that's a whole other thing is there's a lot of families that I know don't sit down and have dinner together. You know, we do that every single night.
Yeah.
There's not a night that we...
It's a good time to start it.
Unless we have something going on, that one of us isn't here, we always have dinner together. This is a great time to start that. You start to have weird conversations. Like the other night, we started talking about how different the memes are for their generation and ours. They don't get ours. Like the memes are the thing that's keeping me going right now.
Yeah.
You know, but we sat there and we compared and she was like, that's not funny. And we're like, well, yours aren't funny either. You know, these are the types of conversations you have. You start to learn about that generation, their slang, their, you know, things that you may not get on a normal basis. You start to learn about your kids.
Sure.
So, you know, I know that probably there's a lot of parents that are like, oh, I could catch up on this and that. But your kids really, I think, in this situation should come first. A lot of the schools are going to start doing distance learning. I know Marina starts that soon, which will be good because, man, I can't imagine being a kid and being locked in the house.
Yeah. I mean,
know?
actually, at that age, I would be like, cool, I don't got to go to school.
Well, yeah.
But then I would have been bummed, too, because I have friends that I wanted to hang out with, you know, just like she does. Yeah. So it's going to... Society is going to go back to normal. This thing isn't going to hover around forever.
No.
Kids will go back to school. Businesses will open up. You know, this is just, it is a time. It's a time to take for yourself, for your families, and just enjoy it, because once you go back to the hustle and bustle, how quickly are we all going to forget about
That's right.
the compassion
Right.
and each other?
Right. Exactly. I really hope that we learn from this. And I know that there are some people that won't, but really honestly, like, I wish I could get in my car and like drive down the street with a megaphone and just tell people to relax and to go with it and to do good, just do good, because we will get through this.
And think good. Even if you're stuck inside and you can't do good,
right?
Think good.
Exactly. It's the thoughts you put in your head are really a big part of it, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you put out.
For sure.
I've had a few people ask me as a psychic where I see this going. And I'll tell you what, I didn't even see it coming. I never mentioned anything to you about a virus, about a quarantine. I have had predictions about things that have happened within it as far as my own career goes that are happening. But I didn't realize it was going to take a quarantine to be a push, really. Right. So those things I knew, like I knew things, but I didn't know about a virus or a quarantine. Right. And that just goes to show you that psychics don't know everything.
No.
There's a reason why I wasn't told. And the other night, I don't know if you remember this, we were sitting together and I all of a sudden just started talking to myself out loud. I think you were on your phone. And I started talking about how they won't tell me anything. How I try to ask, what's going to happen? Where's this going to go? Are we all going to be okay? And the only thing that they will tell me is it's going to be okay and you don't need to worry.
Right.
And that's great. But for everybody that wants to know what's going to happen, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know that Mother Earth needs to heal.
Right.
We need to heal as people, as a species, as families, as whatever. We need to heal. We need to learn from this. And when we do, it'll be over.
Right.
And you know what? Sylvia Brown.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. That she had predicted this would come around this time and would vanish as quick as it came.
The exact year, she said, 2020.
And that it would return in about 10 years and again would vanish pretty quickly and never be seen again.
And I can tell you why that's going to happen. Because it's the Earth's and God's way of testing us to see, did they learn the first time? Or will this generation now repeat the mistakes of the previous generation?
Right.
One of my teachers in elementary school had this sign up in his room, and it's always stuck with me. I was not a good student at all. And so I always took it a different way. But it said, those who fail history are condemned to repeat it.
That's a great line.
And it is so true.
I would probably fail history.
Well, I failed history for sure. No, I didn't, but probably a D, maybe a C. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this history, I won't fail.
No.
I will take my test here and I will show the universe that I'm going to do only good with what's going on. I'm not going to panic. And that's what they want us to do.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to do. Do good for people. Don't take.
Right.
Give.
Yeah.
And
take some time to get away from the media. All right.
Yeah.
Turn off the television. Talk to your kids. Go out in your backyard if you can't leave the house. Do something.
Yep.
But know that it's for a reason.
Yes, it is, and it's not so that a bunch of people can get sick.
No.
At all.
That's not it.
No.
But I hate to say it, this won't be the last.
No.
In this world's evolution, and when in the face of global warming, and you look at ice surfaces that are starting to melt and what lies beneath those, and things like that, it can be a little overwhelming. I'm not going to jump into worrying about what happens 5, 10, 20, 50 years from now and when I'm gone,
right? But
that is the truth, and this is a test.
It is.
What's going to happen, because you guys are living basically in this chemical ball, on top of this ball with all these bacterias and things, and it's bound to happen.
Right.
So do, the best you can to keep it from happening and spreading, and you'll be okay.
Exactly.
Will everybody survive? Probably not. But does everybody survive a war or a plague or a catastrophe? No. That is the sad, unfortunate reality.
Right.
But that is reality.
But the probability too of dying from this is so low. It is so low. Yeah. We're putting so much emphasis on that. We need to stop putting the emphasis on that and see the bigger picture of things.
Because one real thing, real quick too, is that because China in the last few days says they have no new cases. Is what I read.
Yeah.
So that's good.
They're going to go back now to letting people have less restriction, and then we'll see what happens if it flares up again. But I had said at the beginning about how we've kind of seen this unfold where we've been told by scientists to take care of our Earth and we're not. Mm-hmm. Well, humans need proof that there's global warming and that we're doing the damage. By not driving so much, by not so many airplanes being in the air, but all of these things that we're doing to let Mother Earth heal, we're going to have that proof. And then if you still don't believe that you need to make changes in your life, that's your own problem. Yeah. I mean, if you can't clearly see it after this, that we're the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that this is it's a unfortunate catastrophe, crisis, pandemic, but it is one of the best things that I think could happen to this planet right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're the only species on the planet that does this when these things happen.
Yep.
Do you think the bat community, where this maybe originated from, is in a complete panic?
No, probably not.
They're not.
No.
Do they know that it's possible that other of their kind will get sick and die? Yeah.
Right.
Are they in a panic? No.
Did they take all the TP?
No.
No.
So.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if we keep that up, then we're all going to be out there scratching our tushes in the backyard on the grass.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I'll be asking Zuma and Sabbath, show me how you do that.
Yeah. Show me how you scoot. Yeah, no, those types of memes, like the funny things, the toilet paper ones. Oh my gosh. Like, seriously, I'm like the meme dealer now on Facebook. Like, I find the best ones and I give them because I want to make people happy. I want to make them smile when all the others are news stories,
Yeah.
I know everybody's Facebook feed is different. Mine is like memes and spiritual stuff. That's about it.
Right.
And so I take the memes I love the most and I pass them on to try and make people happy. And that's my job right now.
It's great.
But there's been some great ones because of all the toilet paper, the panic and everything. But, at least we can laugh about it. And it'll be interesting to look back 10 years from now and think about, wow, we went through that. We lived through that.
Yep.
Yep.
We might even see it the second time.
Who knows? Well, yeah.
If it does come
Sylvia
back.
Brown's correct.
Yeah, if she was correct.
Which I could see that. Like I said, it's a test.
I love her, and she's, I've always been amazed with her work, so
yeah,
we'll see.
It's funny to watch people that, like, I've seen that, it's not a meme, but it's like a little thing floating around on Facebook where people circle that in her book and then pass it along and show that she predicted this. And I love to see people's brains explode. Like, how did she know?
Right.
Well, because
I mean,
it's real.
It is interesting how she can tap that information as where maybe you can't. But then I start to think, well, maybe it's the reason why you're not told ahead of time is because they know about you personally.
Right.
And they only give it to maybe those that they feel like aren't really making it worry or whatever the reason is.
Sure.
But not everybody gets that.
No, not at all.
But it is accessible. It wasn't like it was mailed to her via God, overnight. No. She tapped into that. Well, she connected to that.
And also, like a prediction like that, she was dead by the time that this prediction came through because she passed years ago. So they might tell her that because, she's not going to be around for it or whatever. I don't know. Maybe for book writing purposes, whatever the reason is, we don't all know the same things or have the same information.
Exactly.
If I sat down and tried to predict things for 10 years out, could I? Yeah, probably. We won't know for 10 years if they're going to happen or not.
Right.
That's my job. Why they don't want to tell me what's going to happen here, I completely understand at this point. It's not my business. I need to go on and,
Yeah.
But the end isn't near. This is not the apocalypse. That's an important one because there are people that believe that.
This is not the apocalypse.
This is not the end of the world. I promise you that. It's not. When after 9/11 and the whole anthrax thing, there was nothing that anybody could have said to convince me that the end of the world wasn't near.
Nobody on this planet right now is going to see the end of the world.
No.
Not in their lifetime. No. Nobody. So this world's going to go on for a long, long time.
Yep. So don't listen to those kinds of crazy things, you know.
I'm fortunate right now because I work from home and I feel blessed. I used to work in the grocery industry for a long time, so I probably wouldn't be too keen on any of it.
Yes.
You know, being that that's kind of the one industry that is staying open.
Yes. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
See, all these things happen for a reason.
Yeah. I'm so content with like the life now.
Right.
And not having to worry about that.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
Not that we don't have worries. But...
Right. Well, and we should give a special thank you to anybody that's listening that is in law enforcement or medical care or the grocery industry or anybody that is keeping the things going that we need.
Truck drivers.
Yep. Everybody. Veterinarians.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Teachers, you know, because we know you got to do all this stuff
online,
remotely. And so, you know, anybody that's doing, I don't want to pigeonhole it to just anybody that's doing anything to help society continue on some level of normalcy.
Yes.
And you're doing something for your fellow man, I tip my beanie to you.
Yes.
Because it's cold.
And I got my headset, so I'll tip that to you. No, thank you, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And just, you know, hug each other, love each other, and know it's going to be all right.
Yep.
It's going to pass.
Yep.
This too shall pass.
And look at it this way. We're all in this together. This is not a United States thing. This is a world thing.
Yeah.
This is affecting everybody. We're all in this together.
Exactly. And don't stop when it's over, you know?
Yes,
Keep
please.
that going, that energy, because that, you can't see it, but that's medicine that will heal this planet and heal us.
Yes, absolutely.
So keep it up.
Yes. Wow. I didn't know that I should have known we would be able to fill an hour with coronavirus because it's all anybody can talk about.
Talk for an hour about the dust on this desk right here.
Well, then you need to do your deep cleaning,
I just
sir.
did, but it gets dusty.
It gets really dusty, yeah. Well, that's all for that.
Cool.
So
good job.
Yeah. So we hope everybody does well over the next week and stays inside, does what they're told to do. Yeah. Wash your hands, don't touch your face.
Yeah.
It's hard, but just except when you're at home. Home is the place that you can touch your face.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Don't be that worried.
Yeah, no. Home is your little capsule.
Just wash your hands before you do it.
Right.
In case you were out.
Yes.
And about.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, good job. Thanks for the research.
Yes, absolutely.
And thanks for people listening to this one. I think it's important. So.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody that contributed to our first discussion.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. It went very well,
I'll have to get in there and discuss sometimes now that we have that.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, before we say goodbye, would you like to share your information?
Yes. You can find everything you need to know about me on my website at SamanthaJonesPsychicMedium.com.
Beautiful.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah. And for me, djonesartcollection.com on the web and at djonesartcollection for Instagram and Facebook, and gypsybrown.com for the web, at gypsybrownmusic for Instagram, and at Gypsy Brown Band for Facebook. We did have a show April 10th. I'm going to probably go out on a limb here and tell you that will probably be canceled and postponed,
unfortunately,
for another date. I think LA County's talking about like April 19th. That's just right now.
Yeah.
So, but have no fear. We will be doing it, and Gypsy Brown will be coming to a town near you. And we're looking forward to it. It just gives us more time to practice and get ready.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, we're not bummed. It's not personal attack against us. So
for sure,
we will. And as soon as we have a new date for that, I will share that with everybody.
Great.
Cool.
Wonderful.
And that's all I got.
Great.
Well, we enjoy everybody listening this week with us.
We did.
We hope you all stay safe and healthy.
Yes.
And have a great week.
Yes.
Don't go crazy.
Love your family.
Love your family. Take some time for yourself to do what you need to do. All those things you're putting off.
Yep.
And just stay busy. Have fun. Stay safe and healthy. And until next week, peace and love.